Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video. A brand new video on the last game of pre-season, which is always one of my favourite things to actually say on the channel, because when it happens it means the real football, the thing that lives in here, is almost back. And in today's video, of course, we end it with a defeat, but we're going to break all that down and discuss it, discuss the game and discuss the overall pre-season, where we are as a squad, who's jumped out at me, couple wee negative things that I'm worried about. We're going to discuss it all here in today's video, with not only a recap of Rangers 1, Spurs 2, but obviously the pre-season recap as well. So we're very busy today, so we're going to jump right into it before, and again I need to, ladies and gentlemen, because we are nearly almost hitting an incredible milestone of 55k. So if you are new around here, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, we are almost at the dream. So if you can help us out, that'd be greatly appreciated. I believe we're less than 400 away now, which doesn't feel real. But I know you want to dive right in to the actual football discussion. So let's reflect back on the Spurs match then, shall we? And that'll sort of perfectly underline and highlight where we are in pre-season. Because when I saw the two starting 11s, I was like, right, that's not too bad at all. Spurs gone for it. I'd argue that's probably their best team. In fact, I think it is their best team. Someone might correct me down in the comment section below. But I looked at that team and went, yeah, that's a lot of money in that bad boy. And then you saw the Rangers team and you saw a couple names and you were like, right, McGregor's back in the starting 11. Let's see how that works. John Suter getting the nod. But everything else looked and went, right, we've got Rabi, we've got Lawrence, we've got Kent, we've got Colak, we've got an attack. Now, nay, sort of gone back to the past and things that didn't work. This probably will be the starting 11 we start the season off with versus Livingston. So that was a wee eye-opener as well. And honestly, the first 10-15 minutes of this game, I thought, we're really in it. Now, when I say in it, I didn't mean dominating or anything like that. Of course, McGregor was called into action to answer some of the questions about him in the 5th minute with a very smart save with his feet down, with just a ridiculous counter-attack from Spurs. It was a good save for McGregor, but you're expecting saves for McGregor. That's what he's always been good at. That right there is his bread and butter, and we went close with a set piece. But honestly, pre-season thoughts, can I just put this out there? I don't know how you feel about this. Can we give someone else a free kick just to try? I mean, Lawrence has hit them in his career. We've got guys in there that's hit them in a career. Can we maybe try someone else on a free kick now and again? Because I can't watch Tavernier hitting all the bar troops. I can't do it. But painful set pieces and that to one side, I genuinely thought we were growing into it and the new players were providing the spark, and that's where we're leaning to. Rabi. Oh my God, this is everything we've been craving and missing for so long. And see, when you see a player who is that fast and who has that skill and who is that direct, it really opens your eyes what we've been doing the last couple seasons, and it's genuinely a head scratch, because now we've got him in there, I can't imagine him ever coming out it, because he was just a threat non-stop, and he's up against 50, 60 million pound centre-backs, whatever the price that was paid for Sanchez. Then you've got Romero and everything at the other side, ridiculous money, but he wasn't scared of them at all. He was going after them constantly, and it's no surprise to me that our goal versus Spurs comes down the right-hand side, where again, just the man's blister and pace and threat creates it, just like he did versus West Ham. He's doing it right again, and what I love here is he's direct and he sizes the player up twice and then he takes him on, and it's a gorgeous again pass into the right area. And Tavernier, I believe, does a kind of wee flick with the back heel. I try and recreate it, but honestly I've not got it in the legs anymore. Brilliant little pass / shot for Tavernier, and Colak is exactly where we talked about in the player profile video he would be. He scores ugly goals for fun because he just knows where to be. Whenever that ball is falling, Colak will always be there, and it was great to see the big lad get his goal. He was up against a couple of very tough centre-halves. Dyer, physically dominant. Romero, aggressive. Sanchez, the pure pace. It was a tough afternoon for him, but I loved that he got his first goal. And, you know, I just like the guy. I know a lot of people aren't hyped up on him and that, but I've seen enough during pre-season to say there is something there. Again, I wouldn't say we're finished with strikers. We need more brought into the football club, or another one, I should say. But looking at what that guy can bring us, he's never stopping running. He's physical. He gets in there. And again, if you put the ball into the mixer with a good delivery, he'll probably find his way on the end of it. So delighted for Colak getting his first goal, and that set us on our way. 25 minutes into the game. And it was nearly a quick-fire dirty double from Rangers as Lawrence went very close with an effort. He tried to curl near the front post again with more good work from Rabi, Colak. Kent was involved in this one and then eventually found its way to Lawrence. So again, the new boys really adding something to this Rangers attack. But where it's been mostly positive right now, there was one glaring negative. And again, it's hard to be negative when it's a pre-season. I know it's that, but again, we have to reflect on what we see, the good and the bad. I thought John Souttar looked like he was towing a caravan at parts this afternoon. They just went for him every single time. And again, it's one of those mixed barrels where he's not going to come up against the pacey Son and Big Clev on that right hand side, and he's not going to play that in the Scottish football and that. And also he's used to spend the majority of his career sitting 20 yards off his box, no 50 yards, so there will be slight adjustments here. But that ball was in behind him every single time, and the next chance of the game I ended up falling with a flick on. He's nowhere near it. It gets to him behind him, and I believe McGregor makes another very good save as Clev continuing needs to cut inside to his left foot. And we were bailed out several times with not only McGregor making those two saves we've spoken about, but Connor Goldson making two tackles inside the box covering for the left centre back. So that was one of those ones you go, okay, that definitely doesn't look strong versus pacey players. And someone else I thought really struggled with the counter attack was Barisic, and I'm sorry, I know people are loving him because he played well versus Blackpool and he played well versus West Ham, but it was the story, Barisic. He got turned once earlier in the game, his head went, and it was just a poor overall performance. But again, that's why we've brought Yilmaz in, and that's why I imagine he'll be playing quite a lot, because we were so susceptible down that left hand side to the counter attack. So we'll need to tighten that up and strengthen that area and tweak that somehow when Champions League qualifiers come calling, because again, we'll no play against that pace a lot in Scottish football or that, but when the Champions League qualifiers come, and if we want to progress into that, we can't be that wide open and that susceptible to one flick on, and then we've got two guys left back and left centre back. That isn't quick. And that worry obviously created the chance for Harry Kane, who missed in the first half to shock everyone in the stadium, but he made his presence known in the second half, and that's where I'm going to go, because there wasn't too many changes or anything like that from us. I think Conte made one at half time. Did he bring Lucas on? I don't know, sorry, I wasn't really paying attention at that point. I was just involved with the singing and that. I'm pretty sure Lucas did come on, and the second half literally changed like that. In a matter of moments where I thought Barisic should have released Ryan Kent far too lackadaisical, gets caught in the ball, counter attack, Clew ends up diving, but from that sort of period, Harry Kane just shows why he's one of the best in the world right now. His first goal, it honestly is ridiculous. It not only made like the stadium go silent or anything like that, but everyone was just like, oh, you could feel it, you know what I mean? Almost like an awe thing where it looked like there was very little backcliff. Again, I've not seen it in too many replays of that. I just go back home. The traffic was a joke today, because for whatever genius thought putting the two biggest clubs in Scotland kicking off at the same time wouldn't cause traffic issues. So I've not seen the game back too many times in replays once I've got home, but for me, I don't think McGregor's at fault. I don't know if the defenders are at fault. It just looked like Kane done what he's been doing all his career, and that is scoring a fantastic goal. And he made it 5 minutes after that, scoring in the 56th minute. Very staunch of you, Harry Kane. And I think we were just messing about with the ball at the back. It eventually found its way to Kane, and he makes no mistake to get a quick fire double and effectively put Spurs not only in control of the match, but really frustrate us, because we had a couple of opportunities but it never quite came in. But that's a learning lesson in itself, that when you've got truly world class players, you can't switch off for a second, because they can turn the game like that. But again, I'm not going to sit here and slaughter the players or anything like that, because Harry Kane scored a screamer and scored another goal. He's no bad at the football and everything like that, and just seeing him and seeing how he plays the game and his movement, and he's able to stroll anywhere, barefooted, bringing others into play, it was just incredible to watch that level of performance. And it's why when he was substituted off not long after, he got a round of applause from the Rangers fans, and a bit of class from him and Son, who both got the same, by the way, from the Rangers fans, that they clapped the Rangers fans on the way off, and a wee touch of class off the park as well, because in the dugout area they went over to the Rangers fans all around there, took some pictures, signed some things, and it looked like they were having a wee bit of fun and a bit of a laugh with that. And that's a touch of class. That's just two fantastic footballers. Came to Ibrox, showed what they were all about, and again, unfortunately it hurt us in the game, but it was good to see players of that calibre. And again, without being too harsh to your boys, that's the two that you can see there's a level, even to the other Spurs players as well. Frightening footballers, and they can change games. And they did. But again, it is important to stress that we're going to play the likes of Harry Kane and Son every week in Scottish football. No, slightly different than when you're playing against Tony Watt. Just ever so slightly so. I'm not going to be too harsh on the team. That's just two world-class players making an impact. But when they went off, I thought we responded. We made a couple of changes. I liked Sands coming in. He's very, very quick over Suter. I think that stopped a lot of the counter-attack Spurs was actually trying as well. So I thought that was a positive impact. But where Rabi came off, Lawrence came off, Scotty Wright, came on, and again, I'm not wanting to be too harsh or anything for that, but the drop off between what was Arabi was able to bring us in the game and the confidence, the ability to beat a man, to Scott Wright was massive. But it was 2 for 3 out of the substitutions I was very fond of, because Tillman came in and his very first touch of a football in a Rangers shirt is to take a ball and slice the defence open to find Ryan Kent, who I think needs to be a bit more on his toes. He's against Lucas, who's not a right back, and never once ran at him. That was confusing to me. You're playing against a winger that's playing at right wing back. Go after him and ask some questions. But Kent, bit caught on his feet with that one, but it was a great through ball, and you saw his physicality, got stuck in a couple of times, put his head where it hurts a couple of times. So I don't know how you feel. I know it wasn't the greatest in terms of he was able to score or assist, but I was very, very impressed with what I saw with Big Tillman right away. Everything we kind of talked about in the preview, big, powerful, eye for the pass, we saw, and I'm encouraged by that. What did you think of Big Tillman when you saw him in the old Rangers shirt? Now, one of my favourite moments of the entire game happened, by the way, and remember how we talked about like Son and Kane getting a round of applause and everything like that? Well, Hugo Lloris was getting booed at the building when he was getting subbed off, and you could see him, he was kind of like, why is people booing me as he went off? But the reason we were booing him was because Fraser Foster was coming on. But you know, there is something inside me that hopes that no one tells Lloris why the stadium was booing, and he wonders for the rest of his life what he'd done to annoy the Rangers fans. But Big Frankenstein came on, and for me, we nearly beat him twice in quick succession. One where, to be fair, Scott Wright did have a shot that was deflected and went just wide, and then a couple of minutes later, Lundstrom, who was the best player in the middle of the park for me by a mile this afternoon, had a deflected effort that trickled just wide, but fine margins and all that. Sometimes it goes against you. I'm glad it's going against us in pre-season games where it doesn't really mean nothing. Hopefully we get all that out of our system. But for me, that was kind of it about the game. I know there's a couple of wee things here or like a Perisic over it, but it's not really about the match recap. We've talked about Rabi being very impressive. I liked a couple of things Lawrence did, the bite as well, having a wee kick now and again. Big question marks about Suter and everything like that. Again, it's going to take him a time to adjust to how high pressing we are. The left back issue is still screaming out to me, but again, we've filled that with Yilmaz. That'll be very, very soon. The middle of the park, Lundstrom was outstanding. Kamara needed to do it a little bit more for me, but again, I'm not hating the Kamara Lundstrom partnership when it's a 2. When there's a guy making it a free there, because I think when it's a flat free, it doesn't work, and we saw that last year. But when they sit together and there's someone in front, I didn't hate it, ladies and gentlemen, and that's honestly my thoughts. I know we lost the game 2-1, but we're playing Tottenham. What did they spend so far this summer? About £120 million. Look at the players they've got, and for me, they've got 2 truly world-class players, Harry Kane and Son. So, I'm not going to be too negative or anything like that. It's no nice losing games of football, but I saw enough encouraging points to think, yeah, we're doing pretty well, and night and day from where we started pre-season to where we are now, and that's what it's supposed to be. Intensity, good bits of play, facing them up, and that's my thoughts and opinions. I do believe we're truly ready for the season. I think our big players look good, our new players have added so much to the team. Couple question marks here or there, but I'm sure Ben Davies and obviously big Yilmaz, or little Yilmaz I should say, will help that back line in that as well. And that's honestly my thoughts and opinions on the overall game. It finished 2-1 to Tottenham, and at the end of the day, did they probably deserve to win? Yeah. Who was my man of the match in the game? Goldson. I thought he was excellent in the game, and that was kind of the chat I was having. I was talking to a nice guy from South Africa who came over for the game, and he was brilliant about it. It was a good laugh. So I don't know if you're watching this video. We never mentioned that I'd done YouTube or that. We just sat and talked about the football or that. But if you did find this channel, it was very, very nice to meet you. Hopefully you got safe travels. And he was sitting talking away about Connor Goldson. It was rare. It was rare, people, that I met someone who likes Connor Goldson, because my dad, who I was with, the old man, is always not the biggest fan. So it was interesting to finally get a bit of praise for Connor. So he was impressive. He looks ready, and if we get a partner next to him that isn't so acceptable, and again, I'm not being too harsh on Suter, I'm just saying in that game, if we get someone next to him at it, could be a very good season for us. And I am encouraged going into the Livingston game. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on not only the game, but where we sit as a team in pre-season. Do you think we need to strengthen in any more areas? Again, Yilmaz is in, alright, so we then need to always mention the left back, but is there any other positions you want? I think we maybe need another wee bit up front just to help Colak, because obviously Morelos is out for a bit of a time. But where do you sit, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comments section below. And as always, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.